Greetings and salutations, Dota fans! It is I, Badger, back for some more League of Legends number 13 season action. We got two. We got two fun teams to watch tonight on the Dire side. We got the Funny Zone, the Radiant side. We got WSS.Hellbears. Actually, I have not gotten a chance to cast either of these teams. I don't think. Then actually not casting too much group stage action this season around, but tonight we're gonna do a little bit of a mix-up in that sense. Looking over at the Funny Zone, they're off to quite a good start so far. 10-6, certainly starting a little bit hot. For WSS.Hellbears, they're currently 3-7, which puts them on the inside looking out playoff picture-wise. They certainly have more wins to get if they want to secure that playoff spot. They're currently sitting at the 8th and final seed for their group as it currently stands, but this is my first game casting with the new ban formats. It is no longer 2 bans per team in the first phase, for those who don't know, 7.34. We now have one team gets 4 bans, the other team gets 3 bans, and then it's 2 picks, and then there's more bans. I really like the idea here. I hope the execution ends up being pretty cool. How cool it will be to be determined, but I think it may be very cool, but we'll have to find out, of course. Regardless, I am a little curious to see what the Funny Zone end up doing with this new draft format. Are they just going to grab like a hyper carry for Ultra Gunner and play around that? Are they going to go for the multi-core thing? Again, Nazi Festival enough have had some pretty good games from their respective core roles. I know, I was going to say, do we see Earth Spirit get banned? The answer is yes. I know some people have been talking about the Earth Spirit, and Baboon is certainly a top 2 Earth Spirit player in the league. Perhaps even the best, though, of course, saying that may just be heresy. But regardless, it'll not be here today. Hellbears ban out Undying, Pango, Spirit Breaker, Earth Spirit. Funny Zone ban out Darkseer, Rubik, Faceless, Void. We'll see. I guess it's an 8-pick now. 8-pick Bat Rider into 9-pick Response. It's gonna feel weird saying that, because for so long, of course, it was, 5, then 6, 7, then 8. Now it's 8, then 9, then bad. So that is going to be fun to adjust to, of course. But again, Bat Rider, certainly still a good hero. It got nerfed in the previous patch, I do believe. Ended up being, I think, a slightly longer cast point on Lasso. Not that it appears to matter all that much. Hellbears will respond with the Underlord, locking in, a very strong, tanky offlaner. Somebody you can certainly have be the aura buyer. Somebody who isn't necessarily all that concerned about whatever Funny Zone may throw at them. Naturally, Funny Zone have the option to grab one of the carry heroes that counter with this. Yeah, it's still the 18 pick, actually. Is it 18 pick? 19 pick now? 18 pick? No, it's still 18 pick. It'll be the 18 pick, the last pick of the second phase for Funny Zone. Perhaps that'll be their hero they're going to grab that will answer the Underlord. Not sure what in Ultra's pool he might want to drift towards, but we shall see. Obviously, Ursa, Monkey King, classical counters to the hero. Neither are banned out, though. I'm not sure Ultra is that huge of a fan of either. We do see the Invoker banned out. Invoker, I think statistically he's not one of the big winners of the patch, but from a sort of like vibe check, he's certainly one of the winners of the patch. Also, becoming a Universal Soldier is very powerful, and that can just kind of buy a lot of these stat-heavy items on Invoker, which is very, very cool. But yeah. We'll see a Queen of Pain ban out as well. It's making sure to protect Festival's mid lane, regardless of whether he ends up playing this Bat mid or ends up playing a different hero mid. And Hellbears will ban out the Ursa. I was mentioning that one as a potential Underlord counter, and that'll be the choice. So Monkey King still in the pool. Number of other decent carries into the Underlord still in the pool, but Ursa, the choice hero of the game, has been removed. It is certainly interesting having that one ban. What is that now? The 12 ban? Is the 1 ban there? Certainly a little bit interesting. On top of the Underlord, we will see a Disruptor. There certainly is some nice synergy there. You know, Pit of Malice into Kinetic Field Static Storm, or vice versa. Lots of ways to lock down somebody with those circle strats. Again, Glimpse, very cool ability, of course. And ensuring that the opponent does not have Glimpse is a bit of a block pick in that sense. I like the pick. I know Larry, aka Ural, does play it. I'm not sure if the other sup also plays it, but we shall see. Funny zone. This is not the real Parker for in 2 minutes when the chat delay catches up. This is not the real Parker for obvious reasons, but I digress. We'll see a Clockwork pick by Funny Zone. Certainly an interesting selection, bit of an active hero. Ideally, I don't think you want to lane that one into the Disruptor. Disruptor does have some anti-Clockwork tools ready to go, though. So if Disruptor makes some missteps, Clockwork certainly can cause a lot of damage. And it will be Coddle as well. Not the support duo I would expect from a team like the Funny Zone, but it will work. Doesn't mean we're likely seeing a Clockwork laning into Disruptor. Maybe it's better than I think it is, but not personally a thing I would want to do playing the clock.
5 seconds remaining.
But then again, I am not the one playing the video game today. I will say if it ends up being a Big Dave Coddle, I don't think I've seen him play Coddle in a while. Perhaps with the new patch saying, you know what, Coddle's good, Dave can play it. Maybe we just want him playing this Coddle selection. But yeah, we haven't seen all that much Coddle. I'm not sure what the patch change was for Coddle. I didn't read the Coddle selection. I'm gonna be real with you. I see Keeper of the Light pop up. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna scroll down. I just don't care. Where's a more interesting hero? Speaking of a more interesting hero, it is Shadow Fiends. Not sure if it's at a carry or mid quite yet. Certainly has some draft versatility in that sense. Hellbears do have the 24 pick, and I would suspect they hold that carry / mid lane SF flex until 24. If it ends up being, say, a Shadow Fiend versus Batrider mid, that'll certainly be interesting. SF in a passive lane certainly would do well, but if that can make some sick outplays, there are options there. If you can say dodge or raise, you can say go Firefly, Flame Break in, cause a lot of damage, but if SF can land all 3 raises, then Batrider takes a ton of damage then. Some good water. I will, of course, need to grab some more water in between games, as things tend to do sometimes, but yeah. Hellbears using a lot of reserve time on this 17 pick. Certainly the hardest pick of the draft for them. 24 should be a lot easier in a lot of senses, given there will be no counter. It will be that Dark Willow. Likely the 4th selection. We're seeing a bit of an odd Wombo combo put together. Not a bunch of traditional Wombo combo heroes, but a lot of the, large AoE abilities thrown in there. All Underlord's abilities. Disruptor Field plus Static Storm, SF Requiem, Willow Terrorize, throw in the Brambles on top of that one. There's a lot of very interesting AoE lockdown from Hellbears. Perhaps Funny Zone, knowing what Ultra Gunner's lane is, will grab their carry now. What that would be, I have no clue. I did mention the aforementioned Underlord counters such as Monkey King, which are not banned out, but that's not really an Ultra Gunner style of hero. Ultra has a very particular hero pool. He's your carry player, Reminds me of the old, shiny style of carry. Enthusiast of hitting creeps. And speaking of heroes who enjoy hitting creeps, it is Alchemist. I thought potentially you may see a hero like Medusa selected, but they got the Alchemist nice and early, and they saved me on mentioning heroes that hit creeps such as Terrorblade and Medusa and all the aforementioned heroes who like creeps. Well, it would be more interesting though if it ends up not being an Alch carry, but if I had to guess, it is because Alchemist carry. Perhaps I'm simply reading the new Alchemist meta wrong, but I see Ultra Gunner in the lobby, I see Alchemist selected, I just predict it's Alchemist carry. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I've been wrong before, I'll be wrong again.
5 seconds remaining.
And now we move into Puck ban. So they're expecting it to be Shadow Fiend carry. They are banning out mids. Again, that's now 3 mids banned out by Funny Zone. Saying, you know what? We're going to protect our middle laner, ban out these strong mids, ban out these heroes who can certainly cause a bit of problem in the lane, and we'll roll the dice in that sense. If it ends up being SF mid, those bans will be a little bit off the mark, but we shall see. Hellbears ban out Batrider. They expect it to be the Batrider mid, so
5 seconds remaining.
I'm not sure what Funny Zone will have left to pick at 23 that they'll want to go for. There have been a decent number of either straight offlaners, but more offlane flexes that have been banned out so far. There are, of course, a number of traditional offlane heroes unbanned. I'm not quite sure what is good, though, in this current 7.34 patch. Is it going to be the Aura Buyers? Will it be perhaps a Blink Stunner? Will it be a Lane Dominator?
10 seconds.
We shall see. I don't think I've casted that much of enough, actually, so perhaps I am missing something about his hero pool that I just don't know yet. Probably could have done more due diligence, but it's like, you know what? I just don't want to. So Funny Zone actually ban out a carry as well. They're saying, you know what? We'll ban out one mid, we'll ban out one carry, just in case the SF is not going carry. They ban out that Slark, which indicates it was going to be an offlane that does not enjoy laning into Slark. Those are often the Aura Buyers. A lot of like these melee tanky heroes do not enjoy being repeatedly hit by Slark, losing that Essence Shift, having their abilities purged off with stun or slow whatever by the Dark Pact. I might be talking too much for the draft, but oh well. I'm sure my voice can take a beating. 50 seconds to reserve time for the Funny Zone. Ultra in his gamer chair, deliberating that 23 pick. It is certainly a different dynamic now that the team that has 18 pick has 23 pick. You don't get both the 18 counter pick and the 24 counter pick. I think this is a great change. I thought the team having both 18 and 24 was a bit much. Now one team has 18, the other has 24. We're down to 15 seconds. Again, I would suspect Aura Buyer. That is not an Aura Buyer, but certainly a hero who does not enjoy Slark. Dark Pact certainly can cause some problems for the Visage. Visage is not a very high stat-heavy hero anyways. Later in the game, of course, all those purges can really ruin a Visage game, but certainly an interesting pick. You certainly can buy a lot of good auras on Visage. Usually you think about those heroes being melee strength heroes. Visage certainly a good alternative to that. Hellbears lock in a Storm Spear as their counter pick, saying, you know what? We trust in our middle laner to be able to play this bat lane. Storm, before he has 6, can run into problems into Batrider. If Bat can get some outplays or get a rotation, there's a lot of room to run down a hero like Storm, who sure has decent stats but does not have instant mobility to get away. He's really only counterplay to Bat. Outside positioning away from where Bat can go on you is trying to turn with the Remnant and the Overload, just trying to take him down with you, I suppose. And of course, there's a bit of a do mid lane with creep, aggro, and so on that involves that, but I digress.
5 seconds remaining.
I think this is a classic Funny Zone lineup in a lot of senses. You know, you allow your Ultra Gunner to have a great game. And again, before they had Ultra, you put in your other former Funny Zone carry players. Not just Smiley, similar concept. You give them a good game by causing a lot of chaos across the map. You're going to be able to play with Batrider. You're going to be able to play with Visage. This will give a lot of space for Alchemist to farm. And Ultra being, you know, perennially one of the better carry players in Lads will know almost certainly how and when to hit his timings, how and when to itemize. How the lane will go, though, will be a little bit interesting. I thought it might be Alchemist Kato in the safe lane. It appears to be Alchemist Clockwork in the safe lane. Assuming it is Big Dave playing 5 clock and not playing 4 clock with a J-Curto roll swap. That'll be laning into a presumably Underlord Willow lane. Though it could be Underlord Disruptor still. Either way, it seems like a rough time for Alchemist. Perhaps we'll be seeing a heavy stack emphasis for Funny Zone to make up for a bad lane for Ultra. Perhaps we'll have to go to jungle very early. We shall see. By the way, though, if you are just joining us, welcome to game number 1 of WSS.Hellbears taking on the Funny Zone in Season 13 of Lands. Hellbears occupied the Radiant side, Funny Zone the Dire. Funny Zone look to secure a berth in the winner's brackets. Hellbears look to secure their very tenuous hold on a playoff spot right now. They're currently 8th seed, but it's certainly a tenuous spot on that 8th seed. My name is Badger. I'm joined by nobody but the Twitch chat on a 2-minute delay. A little bit of Fran Bial chat already from Control, and of course Jay Curdo. Talking about Pack. Control sits on high ground. Smoke has been broken. Concoction scaled by Ultra. But they've missed Shadow Fiend. Kinetic Field will be there from Blimp K. Concoction stuns on 2. They want to get Disruptor. Soul Assumption has been popped, but Blimp K remains alive. The 5-man Smoke was in the right place at the right time, but Funny Zone simply were not fast enough. No first blood. A favorable trade, HP-wise. However, it will get healed off by a Disruptor. I'm pretty sure everything that was skilled was standard. And Battery Assault certainly standard. Winding Light, I think, is standard to secure the range creeps, but I could be wrong with that one. Concoction certainly is more and more standard in the current year. And then, of course, Soul Assumption, also very standard. Lethal Kittens, being an Underlord, will zone away Ultra Gunner. Will be 2 runes to both sides. Nothing too wild and crazy at the onset. Simply Dota 2 so far. So it will be Larry. For those who are wondering now, I'm just gonna say it. I'm going to be calling Ural Larry a lot of the time. Baboon, Jay Curdo, and Aurora, Big Dave. I'll try not to a little bit here and there, but for those who are wondering, hey, who's Dave? Who's Larry? That's who's who. We'll see Aurora initially playing the bottom lane, looking to go wrap around on Control. Blood Grenade, Battery Assault have been used. Control will get run down. First blood goes to Jay Curdo. And now they'll turn to Blimp K. Blimp K has 6 stick charges. Blood Grenade activated. Blimp K will not use the stick. He accepts his death. Aurora will then feed to the tower on purpose to continue to the top lane afterwards. It's a great job there. Patience from Big Dave. Waiting in those trees for the wraparound. Going out on a very squishy Shadow Fiend. Securing 2 kills and then dying to that tower. Just fantastic play. He'll now TP top lane, of course. I'm sure Ultra are sitting there like, hey, where's my sup? I want creeps. So now there's your sup. You can get your creeps. I have not looked too much at the mid lane. It is Storm versus Bat. Surprise, surprise. Storm has a stick. He'll go stick, bottle, wand, boots. Seems like a very standard, very smart anti-Bat Rider build. Not quite sure where he'll go after that. Perhaps it'll be Treads. We shall see. Over to top lane. Concoction has been channeled. It'll be used for a little bit of damage. Perhaps Aurora wanted to man fight. He did man fight, but ultimately it was mostly an inconsequential trade. Looking at Lethal Kittens, he will be going Arcane Boots first. Not going for an item like Vanguard, saying, you know what, I would rather have more mana for the Firestorm than the tankiness Vanguard would provide. And again, even without a Vanguard, Lethal Kittens is far more tanky in this lane than Ultra Gunner. Over to bottom lane, meanwhile, Control goes in looking for enough. He needs one more raise. Enough has no time for a Soul Assumption because he's dead. They'll turn to Baboon. Glimpse is there on Coddle. One more raise. One more right click. He'll stick up on Big Dave. Correction onto... Oh my god, I'm losing it mentally. Regardless, double kill for Shadow Fiend. Control. Big raises there. Good glimpse from Blimp K. It'll feed that tower before enough gets back into the lane. Again, a lot of action in this bottom lane. Just good play from the subs. Good play from everyone involved. And it's already 3-3 kill score. All in this bottom lane, I believe. Over to the top lane again. We're seeing Ultra and speaking of Big Dave, losing these trades. I have not casted in too long, clearly. I'm losing it mentally. But I digress. Looking at CS. Mid lane, relatively even. 14-2 versus 13-2. Top lane seems like Alchemist is out farming Underlord for now, though it's relatively even. Into the bottom lane again, Shadow Fiend not having a great time either. So it's pretty tight CS wise. I looked over at top lane very recently. Underlord was down by like 3 last hits. Now he's up by 3 last hits 30 seconds later, so the things can and do shift rapidly in these side lanes at this stage of the game. No super dominant lane wins quite yet. We'll see Aurora go in with some right clicks. He was threatening with battery assault, though, did not want to pop it quite yet. He's still running in, looking for a D9. Will get last hit by Larry instead. Or the bottom lane, enough has been glimpsed back by Blimp K, I believe. One raise has been used, however, control is low on mana. He can stick up for, I believe, 2 more raises quite soon, but not quite in range yet to do so. Or the top lane once again. We're seeing an alone Underlord. Larry has left the lane to secure the water rune. He'll secure the top one as Master grabs the bottom one, ensuring that Festival does not get that minute 4 water rune. He does have 1 more charge in bottle, so it's not too huge of a deal either way, but again, a bit of mid-emphasis for the Dark Willow, ensuring, you know what, my Storm Spirit, who is very much a momentum-based hero, can get a good start to the game. Already seeing a little bit of jungle action from Festival, just starting to stack his camps. And again, I mentioned it earlier, it's going to be a lot... Oh, she bottom lane again. Rotation from Aurora, but he was glimpsed away by Blimp K. Control is on the run. He'll turn with a stick, trying to stay alive. Aurora dives that tower. Larry TP's in. Control to fall. And Larry, I think, got his TP canceled by Ultra Gunner in the top lane. Back to the bottom lane. Blimp K still being run down. Blood Grenade used into the Soul Assumption. They'll want to right-click down to something under that tower. Illuminate was used. He'll kinetic deal with his Dying Breath with the double kill for enough on the Visage. He's 2-1 and 2. And again, 1 more strong rotation from Aurora himself in the bottom lane. At this point, he's like, you know what? I'm a bottom laner. I've helped secure 4 kills in this lane, and clearly I'm not doing all that much in the top lane, so I'll be there, I guess. Speaking of top lane, Ultra's like, you know what? I'll just hit creeps. I don't want to be Hero Underlord. Not a fan of that hero. I'll just... Hey. Or the mid lane rotation by Larry. Festival either reads it out or goes for the bottom rune anyways and does not get it. It'll spawn top, which will go the way of Storm Spirit. Storm Spirit, of course, is a Storm Spirit. He loves some regen runes. Look at that one. In his bottle, ready to go for some farming action, or perhaps a jump in on the Batrider mid lane. Ball in, Vortex committed, Festival's on the run, inside the Dark Bramble. You don't get right-click down, no, he's still alive. Uphill mischance keeps him alive. Festival will attempt to get away under his tower. Larry tried to go with the Shadow Run to bring down the Batrider, but he could not do so. Good escape by Festival. That uphill mischance certainly paying off big time. What could have been a big kill for Storm instead is just a little bit of farming time. Back to the bottom lane once again. Guess who's there? It's Big Dave. Battery Assault forward. Glimpse is available. Still being held by Blimp K. Kinetic Field committed. Aurora tanks 1 raise. So go in for Disruptor. Glimpse still available. Master rotates in, as does Larry. They'll certainly bring down Clockwork. Storm will secure the kill. A lot of commitment required to get the Clockwork, but again, it ensures your SF is not dead. Your Disruptor is not dead. And at the very least, Storm gets some kill. Not the Batrider kill he wanted earlier, but a kill nonetheless. Looking at the Wisdom runes, 1 will go, of course, to Jay Curto on the Coddle. Other one's still, just there. I'm sure someone will grab it eventually. So it will not be a Witchblade for, or not that, sorry. It will not be the Treads from Master. I mentioned Treads, the possible continuation after Wand Bottle Boots. He'll go straight into the Witchblade, apparently. Looking at the courier. Correction! He has Shreds and 1 component of Witchblade. He's far richer than I thought he was. He's got the Shreds and 1 component Witchblade. He's number 1 net worth, ready to have high stats. And again, he'll get lucky on the... No, he doesn't! Jay Curto! utterly and completely popping off there, just denying that rune. Because you know what? I'm going to make you commit that ball lightning and secure the rune. He didn't commit it, and as a result, Kyle simply denies it. We will see a smoke up by Aurora and Baboon. Both dire side supports looking at their vision. They want to head into seemingly blind territory. The D ward will come out. Radiant are aware something is up. A Limb is caught inside the cons. Blood Grenade committed. Disruptor's half HP. Enough's on the rotation on over to bring down Disruptor. That is his third kill of the game. And again, in return, we will see Radiant push out the other lanes. Master is still farming the mid lane. We do see Underlord starting to cause a little bit of tower damage in the top lane, but not too much progress quite yet.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And yeah, we're going to see Storm run into this dire side jungle, perhaps looking to disrupt Ultra Gunner, perhaps looking to grab the stack. The most he'll get, though, is a little bit of XP. Simply did not want to go in and fight Ultra Gunner. You will see a Radiant sign lane rotation. Lethal Kittens has headed to the bottom lane. For now, Larry will occupy the top lane. So we are going to see Lethal Kittens, Arcane Boots, and Vanguard in hands. Being the Vanguard in that bottom lane as his carry, Shadow Fiend will leave for the jungle. And it seems like Dire, Funny Zone are uninterested in trying to dislodge Underlord. They'll play 2 mid, they'll play 2 top. Festival has Lasso skilled, ready to go, but Storm is never an easy target. He'll look to secure that minute 10 rune. And it will spawn top. Aurora grabs it instantly, not looking to play around, allowing Master to grab it. Looking at key support levels, Larry, level 4, J. Curta, level 5. Looking at the Clockwork, he's at 5 as well. Disruptor at 4, so no support quite yet at a 6. Dire's sups closer than the Radiant one as it currently stands. Larry may be in a little bit of damage. Luminance will hit. Picking about 1/4 of his HP, Aurora will run forward. He's got more move speed. He'll sidestep the brambles for now, but Larry simply walks away towards that Twin Gate area. Storm rotates in. He may look for a sup kill here. Baboon plays below his tower. Clockwork simply hiding. Or the bottom lane, meanwhile, Lasso is committed on the Lethal Kittens. Enough. Has that soul assumption, and that'll be another kill, this time onto the Underlord. It'll be in exchange for the familiars. One of them died, the other was killed by the resummon. So Enough had to commit the resummon there. Over to top lane, once again, it's Master and Larry looking for Baboon. Looking at Radiant Vision, they seem not to have a great idea what Baboon is. Control will TP up the Twin Gate, popping the raises, bringing down the Condor. Kill went to Storm there. And as a result, we will see El Clasico, the trade of Tier 1 towers. Radiant certainly will secure that top T1. Aurora and Enough want to secure the bottom one still. Larry will get dove under that tower. Meanwhile, Ultra Gunner brings down Blimp K in the Radiant jungle. Back to Larry. He's still alive. Tried to perhaps deny that tower. Did not work out. It is a full trade of towers. The Radiant bot T1 for the Dire top T1. Just gonna draw my box and my X, as is tradition. Mid lane, Festival runs forward, but in comes Storm Spirit. That pops the haste rune, and that will allow him to get away nice and easily. Can perhaps rendezvous bottom with his team, and he will do that, going in for Larry. However, there is no Lasso still. It's still on cooldown. As a result, Larry will get away. Good water. So the big thing we have not been looking at recently is Ultra Gunner, and I'm gonna have to hold that thought because it seems like Dire want to dive middle lane. The Funny Zone Sups are on that wraparound rotation. Baboon will dive the tower fully. Lethal Kittens tanks a solar bind, but he seems not to care. Aurora pump fakes that hook shot, does not commit to it. Again, pump faked once again. He's waiting patiently. He'll head to Storm instead. The Storm is one hard nut to crack. With hookshot missing, it's certainly not going to get cracked today. Limke puts up the ward. Dire are aware of it. They'll get the D ward nice and fast. We are at a little 4v4 standstill. Both teams play 4 mid lane. Dire slowly chip that Radiant mid T1 tower. As that happens, SF is farming, and of course Alchemist is farming. I was going to mention that earlier. Ultra Gunner is hitting creeps. That is the name of the game for Ultra. He's #1 net worth by a country mile. He's going to look to extend it to multiple country miles. Already has Radiance Yasha. Not all that far from the Manta. And that's going to be the name of the game. Hit creeps, acquire key items. Not quite sure how many items he wants this game. Surely it'll be at least one more item on top of the Manta. And then at that point, it's play around with your timing, your 5-man timing there. Larry gets stunned in the Radiant jungle. He's looking to dislodge Aurora and enough. Enough says enough. And again, it's a ball in by Master, looking for the Visage. Static Storm on the floor. Hookshot comes in to stun the Storm. And again, it's certainly going to be a dead Visage, but Dire perhaps want to get something in exchange. Problem is, the only thing he's going to get is more death as it currently stands, followed by Master, but it's right into a stun from Ultra Gunner. That's a lot of damage coming in from the outcome. That's a dead Storm. Aurora tipped him. As that happened, Festival brought down Larry on the south side. Back over to Blimpke. He'll die to Baboon. Lasso still online. Now committed for Lethal Kittens. A stun from Ultra Gunner secures the kill. That's a 4 for 2. A big team fight win for the Funny Zone. And again, it looked bad at the onset, but with that long ball in by Master, right into the open arms of a concoction from Ultra, it all turned around. Over to top lane, meanwhile, Festival TP in for control. In Festival, they're both dying, and they both will die. I believe you have to count that as a win for the Dire. It's a lot of XP going to Visage and Clockwork surely, but it also is a big solo kill for control to get. Interesting stuff right there, surely.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
You know, it's one of those games where it doesn't feel that one-sided until you look at the net worth. It's like, oh yeah, Funny Zone are up by 10,000 net worth. I didn't even notice until now. Win probability is only 59% according to Dota Plus, but that is oh, good hook shot into the lasso top lane. That will be a dead Shadow Fiend. And again, another heads-up pick-off there. That's what they need to do with this net worth lead, and that's what they're doing. Getting these key core kills, beginning to take over the map. The stack will certainly be property of the Funny Zone. However, as that happens, Ultra Gunner is not there. He's bottom lane. Not sure if Radiant know how deep he is bottom. Looking at their vision, they're going for the smoke. They know he's in this area. Ultra Gunner runs into the creep lane. They know he's there. His team is nowhere nearby. He's quite tanky. Vortex into Cursed Crown, into Bedlam, into Static Storm, into the Pit of Malice. They're committing everything. They need this kill desperately. Manta is up. He'll use it, but it will not keep him alive. The kill goes to Lethal Kittens. That's a big kill on Ultra Gunner. It will be in exchange for the Radiant side top tier 1 tower. It will get glyphed. And that will get, that will not get refreshed at all, actually. Both of these T1s are going to end up probably dying very soon, but for now, the top T1 is dead, and the mid T1 is still alive. And again, Larry has another smoke to use if he wants to use it. We saw one successful smoke to bring down Ultra Gunner in this Radiant jungle area, but we could see another one once the cooldowns are no longer cooldowns. We do have Static Storm in 25. Festival grabs the Invis Rune. Flame Break is committed. Ball in by Storm, but in comes Ultra. Blinking the backline. Last was there on Storm as well. A disaster for WSS.Hellbears. And now, with the Terrorize committed, Larry will attempt to get away, but I don't think he lives this one at all. This something gets brought on down there. That's going to be 3 kills for the side of the Funny Zone. And again, some longtime lads veterans are taking some newcomers to the woodshed right now. Just blasting them. Mid T1 is brought down by enough. That's all tier 1s on the Radiant side now dead. Looking at the Dire side, their towers are mostly intact. Simply that solitary T1 earlier that was brought down is currently dead. And again, it seems like the Funny Zone do not have a massive sense of urgency. They know there is a lot of room for Ultra Gunner to grow. He certainly wants that BKB. Perhaps he'll want one more item on top of BKB. For now, though, BKB is the name of the game. Once he has that, it will be 4 items. Radiance, Manta, Blink Dagger, and that BKB. On the flip side, looking at Control, on the Shadow Fiend, he has not recovered from a relatively rough laning phase. He's currently 6th in net worth, and the Funny Zone did a very good job of simply running this man down and ensuring he could not farm optimally. He has 7.7k net worth at Mask of Madness plus Dragonlance, so not even close to that BKB quite yet. Looking at the other cores again, we're seeing Storm go for Witchblade into Kaya into BKB. Perhaps he wanted the full Kaya Sange, but he recognized at this point, you know what, I need that BKB. It's fight time. Dire are running down the lanes, killing my structures. That bot T2 is dead. And again, Lethal Kittens is playing the Aura style. Guardian Greaves, Vanguard, Pipe is going to be the next item for him. Looking at these very farm Dire cores, Festival has his BKB. He's headed for an Octarine core, though he's approximately an Octarine core away from said Octarine core. Looking at enough, he went a little bit into the Aura style with that Pipe, but it's mostly, you know, the armor reduction sort of, I'm going to right-click and ruin people's days style on Visage. Solar Crest Phylactery going into the Aghanim Scepter. Certainly high damage build there for enough. And again, with the Roshan taken, we are going to see Funny Zone play top lane, looking to punish the Radiant, who are still playing up in this area. Blimp K will get hook shotted on. Pit of Malice hits on 2. Lasso's committed onto Control. Control is going to be the primary target. 2-man stun comes in from Ultra Gunner. And at this point, Blimp K dead, Control dead, Master dead. Lethal Kittens is on the run. Larry will TP away. Lethal Kittens will not be so lucky. He has no way out but 6 feet under. That'll be a 4 for 0. And a fantastic stun from Ultra Gunner. I mentioned it as a 2-man stun. I think it might have been even more than a 2-man stun somehow, which is just absolutely... With that unstable concoction radius talent, I think he self-stunned there. And ended up stunning like 4 heroes or something crazy like that. Absolute absurdity there from Ultra Gunner. With that teamfight win, again, we're going to see 2 more objectives grabbed. It'll be the Tormentor and that top T2 tower. Ultra still has 2 lives. He has BKB on Courier. Baboon now has a Shard. That'll be the recall on Coddle. Certainly nice to have in a game like this where your bat will be going a lot of places with travels, where your Alchemist wants to be farming. It's recall him into that team fight, nice and happy. That is 5 towers taken by the Funny Zone. Again, it's still a 5-1 tower score. Larry's being gone on bottom lane. I'm not quite sure how he lives. Alright, I guess that works. Again, Festival did not have great vision on the Radiant hero, so you know what, maybe he's being backed up right now. Maybe I can't go in and secure this kill. And he'll blink away from Storm. Storm balls in further, but the Master seems to have overcommitted in this case. He'll ball and TP, but it's canceled by Aurora! At this point, there is no way for Storm to survive. Fantastic timing, fantastic patience from Big Dave. That'll be a dead Storm, and Larry is somehow still alive. He'll finally die, but again, you lose the Storm. That's a very, very rough death to tank. On top of that, that mid-tier 2 was brought down, so all of the outer towers are dead. The Funny Zone extend their gargantuan lead to 25,000. Win probability, it's up to 90%. We still have 2 lives for Big Austin on the Alchemist, Ultra Gunner. For nearly 2.5 minutes, he will hit that bottom tier 3 tower, looking to crack the high ground wide open. Meanwhile, Funny Zone will also go in for Larry. They're tired of Larry living. Soul Assumption is committed. He's still alive. Eventually they'll right-click him down, surely, but he's still alive! Lasso's committed on the Storm. Larry finally takes on down. Hookshot was used, missed by Big Dave. The 1-for-1 trade so far. Storm wants to go in for more. He'll look for Baboon. Baboon, meanwhile, will just simply walk away as his teammate. Ultra Gunner brings down Blimp K. Back to Storm. He's out of mana. He's also brought down by the Alchemist. 3-for-1 once again, and now Lethal Kittens is caught in the eyes of the dire side Wombo. They'll simply kite around and bring him down. That's a dead Underlord. That's a 4-for-1. So sure, a lot of your push is dead with Visage dying, but again, with that 4-for-1 trade, you've got plenty of room to play with. The waves are not actually in a great spot. We saw Shadow Fiend cut that top wave. Both mid and bot were super... well, actually, they weren't super shoved in, so there is no actual... Now the backdoor is finally dead. Ultra will continue his push. Glimpse will get used, bringing Ultra away from the bottom lane, back to the mid lane. And say, you know what? You want me mid lane? I'll hit your mid T3 tower. Curse Crown stuns. Fall in by Storm. Will not kill the wave. He's off the mark. Not what he wanted on that one, surely. Now the tier 3 dead. Ultra and enough will head for the melee barracks. Melees are quite low right now. And they're dead. Blink Lasso comes in from Festival. He'll look for the Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend's still alive. Festival was glimpsed away, I believe, by Blimp K. Static Storm is there on too, with Distant and Alchemist on the inside. Both are quite tanky. Control will BKB. Looking to man up, but Die are simply running away. They'll turn on Master. Master's quite low. A few more hits will do the job, and now Storm is dead. Ultra blinks in, using Concoction on Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend is half HP and dropping rapidly. Alchemist, in the middle of his BKB, will right-click down Shadow Fiend. Aegis will now expire, and they cancel the regen, but can they kill him? He's dropping, he's stunning, he's running, and he remains alive. Radiant cannot kill Ultra Gunner. Storm has diebacked. Underlord is dead. He's got no buyback. Triple kill for Festival, double kill for Ultra. There's no GG in the chat, but this game is most certainly over right now. It will be 2 sets of frags taken. It's well north of a 30,000 net worth lead for the Funny Zone. We may even see Mega Creep secured here. And again, barring a colossal throw, it will be a dire side Game 1 victory here. Blimp K gets dove all the way to the fountain. Aurora tanks a couple of tower shots. Not quite sure what he's looking to accomplish other than simply having a fun time right now. Requiem is pump fake canceled, pump fake again canceled once again. Aurora is inside kinetic field. He'll use the cogs. He's on the run. Radiant know he's there. They'll eventually kill him, surely. Last hit goes to Lethal Kittens. Meanwhile, the remainder of the team secures the Mega Creeps. Ranger Axe will get glyphs. Static Storm will silence Ultra Gunner. Ranger Axe still alive for now, but when they die, and it is now, it is Megas. Lethal Kittens is stunned by Ultra, blink in by Festival. Lasso is there onto the Shadow Fiend. SF will stand his ground for now as Underlord dies. Back to Ultra, he'll channel Concoction, he'll use it on two. Storm and Willow on the inside. They're chain stunned by enough, and they're both brought down once again. Beautiful team play from the Funny Zone. Requiem comes through, but it does very little. Shadow Fiend is dead. Double kill for Visage. It's only the Disruptor alive right now. He'll get dove all the way to the fountain once again. He'll live. At this point, whoa, he's going into the fountain! He uses the Ghost Scepter. What is he doing on Keeper of the... Hey, Kurdo. You absolute baboon. What are you doing? One tier 4 is dead. Buyback comes through from control. It's currently a 3v3 defense, though. Aurora is back on the way, or Ultra Gunner will stun Shadow Fiend into Abyssal Disruptor, but Disruptor got Gunner kicked off in time. Lethal Kittens respawns. Pit of Mouse is used on 2. They want to kill Ultra Gunner, but it's just so hard. Fall in by Master. He too has respawned. They just cannot kill Alchemist. Meanwhile, the throne is under attack. It's nearly half HP. However, the Funny Zone cannot kill it. Hookshot is used to get away by Aurora. Pit of Mouse hits on 3. Bat is on the run. Fall in by Storm. Glimpse on Aurora. At the very least 1 kill for the side of the Hellbears. The more important heroes will get away. Oh, never mind. I was going to say they'll perhaps go for 1 more fight. But they call the GG. They say, you know what, we're down all our buildings. We could not kill the cores, and this game is over. Hey. Yeah, again, the Funny Zone has a strong win there. Style of Dota you expect with this modern Funny Zone lineup. A lot of farming from Ultra. Strong performances from both of their cores. The sups were active early. A strong game. For Hellbears, they had some things that went well, but ultimately, once the laning phase broke down, they were heavily out-farmed. Again, trying to out-farm Ultra Gunner Alchemist is a nay impossible task. What can you do? I'm gonna go grab some water. I'll be right back. I will see you all soon for game number 2 of the Hellbears taking on the Funny Zone.
Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Dire team ban. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Greetings and salutations once again, Dota fans. It is Badger. Once again back for the draft of game number 2. Funny Zone, of course, coming off a dominant game 1 victory, looking to turn that 1-0 into a 2-0. For their part, Hellbears look to equalize the series with a 1-1 draw. We are going to see, of course, the band phase. All the bands now done. I believe Undying was a first phase ban last game. In this game, it will be actually selected. The the 8th pick for the Funny Zone.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Not quite sure how Hellbears will respond. It will be Earth Spirit. So both these heroes were, I believe, banned out phase 1 of the last draft. Earth Spirit most certainly was. This time we will see the Earth Spirit selected.
10 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban.
But for now, we are going to once again return to a ban phase. You are a fan of ban phases, you're going to love the opening of the new draft, because you go from 7 bans right into 3 more bans.
10 seconds remaining.
I like it, though it is certainly a slow start to the draft, slower than is normal. Correction, slower than what it used to be in antiquity, I should say. I'm literally referring to like 3 days ago, but at this point, that's antiquity.
Dire team ban.
Not even 3 days, actually, but still. We will see some more bans coming on out. Hey.
10 seconds remaining.
Still waiting on one more ban, it appears.
5 seconds
A ban from the Hellbears. Funny Zone banned out Invoker, they banned out Shadow Fiend. Hellbears are digging into the reserve time right now. They've used a lot of it to ban out Coddle. They do not want J. Curdo on back-to-back Coddle games, apparently. For what it's worth.
10 seconds remaining.
Where exactly we're going from here, we'll have to see. Reserve time once again being dug into. Hellbears looking at this, I guess the 3rd pick of the draft. Looking to secure likely some kind of either 5-sup or maybe a versatile core hero. They have Earthbeard, who's more than likely going to end up being a 4-sup, unless there's something that I don't know about these players. And reserve time really being dug into. Nice and early in the draft. We are not dragging things out. We're doing it nice and early.
Radiant team pick.
There is that 5-sup Lich. So again, relatively calm start to the draft. No cores this time around.
10 seconds remaining.
There is the Underlord available once again if Hellbears want to head that direction, but into Undying, perhaps they no longer want to.
Team pick.
Funny Zone will grab the Tide Hunter. Hey, you know what? There's no Rubik this game. It's already banned. There's no Void. It's already banned. Why not?
10
Certainly a hero who can crack and shell off a lot of spells. I think literally everything on Hellbears can be crack and shelled off in one way or the other at this point, so. Yeah. That is something. Perhaps we will see the lane pairing here for Tide. And no, we will not. It'll be an Ember Spirit grab for now. But they're grabbing Festival's mid lane pick very, very early, saying, you know what? We do not want Hellbears grabbing Ember right here at 16, 17. So let's grab it right now at 15.
5 seconds.
Lock it on in. Give them a chance to counter. And there are a lot of potential counters here to the Ember.
Dire team pick.
Not quite what I expected. It's more of a Tide counter than an Ember counter. Hypothetically, Ursa mid into Ember wouldn't be that bad, but not quite not quite what you would expect. I am being rated though by Math Magician 10, who is rating with a party of 10. Thank you for the raid, Mr. Math. If memory serves, you were casting some PDC Archon. Hopefully that went pretty well. Either it went well or it didn't went well. Either way, you're here now for some late night lads.
Team pick.
We will see Timber Saw selected. Again, bit of a mid offlane flex for now. I have to imagine Timber into Ember isn't the most favorable lane of all time, but certainly could be an option.
10
Sure, maybe you won't kill the Ember, but you certainly will not die yourself.
5 seconds remaining.
For the Funny Zone, they're almost certainly going to grab a 4 support here. Assuming it is Undying 5, Tide off, Ember mid, which again is a strong assumption to make. I'm not quite sure what 4 support they would want into a hero like Ursa. I think it's a relatively maneuverable 4. Say a hero like Morana, a hero like Windrunner. So actually grabbing some better lockdown certainly could be an option. Whether it's a slow to kite around the Ursa, a stun, whatever it may be. Maybe a good slow is better against Ursa with the new changes to I think it's called like slow resistance or something. I'm not sure if Enrage also got given slow resistance or what, but maybe I should have read the Ursa. The funny part, I mentioned game 1 with Coddle. It's like, alright, Coddle's selected. I didn't read the Coddle patch notes. Same with Ursa. I see Ursa. I didn't read the Ursa patch notes. I don't care about Ursa. I truly don't. So we'll have to see what it ends up being with the pick.
Team
Funny Zone used all their reserve time for what we're going to assume is a 4 support gyrocopter. Whether it will be one, we do not know yet. It could be carry, certainly. Traditionally, if you go back, a solid 5+ years, Gyro certainly has been one of the better carries in Dota history. A top tier selection at a number of different TIs. In more recent years, you have seen Gyro selected in a support role, often 4, often 5. Which of the two it'll end up being, not quite sure. Hypothetically, if it ends up being a Timber offlane, which, again, I would guess it probably is a Timber offlane. Maybe that Gyro carry is the anti-Timber pick. Gyro is not a strength hero, and he's not a melee hero. Timber tends to eat melee strength heroes for breakfast. Gyro is neither. I guess in the modern sense, you'd say he more eats universal melee heroes for breakfast, but I digress. I'm going off of the more orthodox, traditional Timbersaw understanding. Yeah, Gyro does come equipped with a lot of magic damage if he wants to scale into the magic damage. Probably theorycrafting the Gyro carry a little bit too hard, considering it's almost certainly going to be Gyro 4 or Jake heard it. Wait a minute. Hellbears think it's going to be Gyro carry. Because they banned out Shadow Demon, they banned out Pugna. They think it's Gyro carry. So perhaps they're on the same page I'm on. And they would be wrong, much like me. So what's the Mirana? I did mention that as sort of anti-Ursa laner earlier on, again, once you have that leap skilled, you will not get run down by Ursa quite as easily. There is some big room for Lich to make a big outplay. You catch Mirana mid-leap with Sinister Gaze and Mirana's not happy. Best case scenario, you leap away again and live. But with, say, level 1 leap, that restore time on the charge is very, very long. So catching that's very, very cool. Best case scenario, you just kill the Mirana. We shall see. Hellbears grab a Venomancer. Seems like we're going to see a Timber mid and a Veno offlane. And that will be the case. So Ultra Gunner, Gyro carry, Festival mid Ember, enough offlane Tide. Mirana force up. Front for Jacurdo, and then Big Dave Aurora on the support of Dying. For Hellbears, Control, Carry, Ursa, Master, Mid, Timbersaw. Lethal Kittens on an offlane Veno. Limp K 4, Earth Spirit, Larry 5 Lich. I like this Funny Zone lineup. Maybe I'm being delusional, but I've convinced myself that this Gyro carry is good. I don't think Hellbears have the greatest tools to deal with it unless either Ursa or Timber pops off. Hypothetically, they both can. Ursa in particular should have a fairly decent landing phase into Tide. If Tide and Mirana can limit the bleeding, then Ursa's game will get slowed down, and then Funny Zone should be in the clear, but Hellbears can certainly cause a lot of early chaos. Take some forced fights in the landing phase, get kills for Ursa and so on. If that can happen, then they're cooking. But if I had to guess, I would predict Funny Zone to take this game 2, and as a result, take the series 2-0. That is good water. That is good water. Choking a little bit in the water, actually. 1 second.
Prepare for battle.
Alright, I appear to no longer be choking. Had a little bit of water go on the wrong pipe there, but all is well. If you are just joining us, welcome to game number 2 of the Funny Zone taking on the Hellbears in some Season 13 League of Lads action. Funny Zone play the Radiant side. They won Game 1. They, of course, look to complete the 2-0 sweep. For the WSS Hellbears, they, of course, want to avenge their Game 1 loss, bring it to a 1-1 draw, continue to hold on to their tenuous playoff spot. My name is Badger. I am no longer choking on water. And much like the players, I am ready to cast. See Blimp K leading the way into the Radiant jungle, runs into Aurora. Ultra plays high ground. Arrow is not skilled quite yet. And we will see again Larry. He's playing with his team. He's perhaps going to be the one leading. Perhaps getting vision for a roll in by Blimp K. Maybe that'll be the play there, but
30 seconds to battle.
they're being very, very patient right now. Ultra still is not skilled anything. He's got no regen. It's Blades of Attack and 3 Ironwood branches. Looking at Radiant Vision, they've got some idea, but no exact vision right now. Looking at Dire Vision, they see nothing. But again, they know somebody's probably up here. Maroon will not be gone for by Ultra. Aurora will run in. He tanks a Frost Blast. He'll DK, pump Fake Crushing, and now hold it again. DK will now be there only on 1. Once again, one more Frost Blast into a roll by Blimp K. Arrow will be used, but it will split the wickets. Blood Grenades on point. Aurora will get right-click down. First Blood goes to Blimp K on the Earth Spirit. Looking at the runes, it will end up being 3 runes to the Funny Zone, so you lose First Blood. However, you do get 3 runes. And again, it was First Blood to Earth Spirit as well. Not a big core hero. Speaking of Earth Spirit, he rolls in for Aurora. Aurora runs away. Over to the top lane, Arrow, short range, still on point enough to bring down Larry. Enough. Gets the kill there on Tide, so it's 1-1 in kill score. Seems like Ultra is ready to do some last hitting. He is actually missing a last hit there. Very unfortunate from Ultra, but what can you do sometimes? Looking at mid lane, this Ember versus Timber Saw. Surely, in that Timber versus Melee matchup, Timber should be in a pretty good spot. Well, top lane, once again, we're going to see Lich have to walk all the way back into the lane. I mean, we saw earlier Lich died. He did TP all the way from the bottom lane, so it's a long walk back up. Seems like Radiant weren't able to get too much out of it, but every little bit counts CS-wise. Top lane, both supports are quite low. Arrow forward, good leap forward to bring down Lich. And now Baboon will get away from control. He'll use the leap, though it did not go to the low ground. He stays in the high ground. Control did not want to commit further for that kill, however. He would not have gotten it more than likely. Back to bottom lane. See a little bit of trading, but nobody dies there. Earthshock forward by Control. Baboon is quite low. Control needs to be careful. He's only half HP himself. Though, with 8 stick charges, he seems to be pretty okay. He'll look to run down enough. Blood Grenade is committed. Arrow hits on Ursa. Enough's on the run, but Frost Blast will bring him down. Blimp K used the Twin Gate. The Rock Kick was missed. Control still has that shared Tango in his backpack. He needs to use it soon. I'm just gonna try to like drag that one in for him. It's not working. I'm feeling bad for Larry right now. That's his tango going to waste. It's gonna die very soon. Please, the tango. There, no, it's gonna expire. Oh, if I were Larry, I would be so upset right now. Like, that's my tango, my hard-earned net worth. What do you do to it? You throw it in the trash. Very unfortunate. Bottom lane, the trades once again occur. Blood grenade used on Blimpke. Blimpke is on the run. He's brought down by Aurora. Meanwhile, top lane, 2v2 trade continues. Frost Shield comes in on control, looking to run down Tide by Tide. Has boots and runs away. Again, enough held the gush during that. He's just saying, you know what? I can wait. I'm patient. There will be a better opportunity. Baboon looks to once again run forward, then leaps away, then once again cancels the clarity of Larry. Control, Urshot forward. He's likely to die for that one if I had to guess. Blood grenade will be there. Control is brought on down. A little bit too greedy there from Control. Wanted that one last hit, but that one last hit cost his life. Especially when Tide, again, if Tide did not hold the gush, that death might not have happened. Oh, and again, top lane. Speaking of gush, is there on Larry. He'll get right-clicked down by Baboon. I think the Star Storm secured that kill technically, but what is Festival up to exactly? What is going on, right? He's just here. I feel like that's interesting. He will flame guard the double wave here, but the wave didn't aggro on him. It's just what? It just walked past. He says, you know what, Festival? I don't care about your flame guard. Meanwhile, bottom lane Ultron is being run down, but he's not quite dead. He'll get a tango from Aurora. Aurora will deny him. I think that was the right play to do that deny. I'm not quite sure of the math on that one, but he is denied regardless. Still don't know how that wave was not aggroed by Festival, but still. We are back to moving to top lane once again. Urshot forward by Control. He wants to kill this Tide, and Tide will finally die. The arrow is tanked by a dire melee creep. Not that it would have saved the Tide as far as I know. Now it's support on support action. Lich versus Morana. Morana certainly happy with that trade. Larry walks away. We'll see an Arcane Rude mid lane for Master. Looks to zone out Festival. Meanwhile, bottom, Gale is there on Ultra Gunner. But he's fine. Back to top lane, look to run down Control. Again, he'll Urshot away. So sure, he does not die, but Radiant took a lot of his rapidly dwindling HP. Meanwhile, bottom lane again, we're going to see a roll forward off the mark by Blimpke. Ultra still looks to survive. He's got his wand ready to go. Meanwhile, top lane, Ursa to fall. Back to bottom lane again, nobody dies. I looked at the wrong lane there. Meanwhile, mid lane, a dive by Master. He's got Chakram in 3. Festival will Remnant and TP away. Back to top lane, Larry also dies. So in that bit of a 2v2, both dire heroes die. And nobody else dies, so I missed all 2 kills. What can you do? And again, a dive by Timber. The Arcane Rune has expired, but Master still wants to be the master of the middle lane right now. Festival will Flame Guard and walk away. Master will look to force out that defensive Remnant usage. Festival is being patient for now, though. He'll simply hit the creeps. Back to top lane, Frost Shield forward, enough is dropping, Sinister Gaze committed, one more hit will do the job, but can Dire get it? Control wants it, but he cannot find it. Tide, too fast, too furious, and a little bit too alive to be dead in the top lane. Again, mid lane, we see Festival again, just cutting the wave of Flame Guard. He is not interested in interacting with Tide Hunter. He has a Remnant up, but Blimpke is looking to run him down right now. Both these heroes are not in a good time right now. Blimpke is going to dove on that tier 2 tower, but Festival will use both Remnants to get away at this point. Problem at this point is roll forward by Blimpke is still hunting Festival. Meanwhile, top lane, Lich ended up dying once again to Baboon and enough, but this mid lane action, it's it's must-see TV. I mean, you can't turn away from this. It is certainly interesting, though. There's new locations on the outpost for those who have not read the patch notes. They're no longer where they used to be. They're no longer in the standard jungle. There's still the one over here by the Roshan Pit area, but now they're at the Tri-Camp, so a little bit of a realignment of the map. Not quite sure what the impact is yet, but for now, Control once again look to run down this tide. Will turn to Baboon instead. Sinister Gaze was committed. Baboon leaves his last leap to get away. Ravage will be there on to Earth Spirit. Will get stunned as well from that, actually. So Larry is dead. The trade will be for enough. Now Baboon, with no leaps left, will attempt to stick up and leap away. He just got that last charge once again up. The Control is diving. That Earth Shock in 5. In comes Undying. The roll will get tanked by him. Baboon's still there. Tombstone is committed. Control tanks the arrow, and he's dead on the Earth Sub. Bear. Blimp K wants the Tombstone. He will not get it. There's an all shot DX. Oh no. No, you don't need to DX in the all chat. Come on, Big Dave. You're bigger than this. Ay. So as all that happened, the mid T1 was brought down by Master Z34. Seems like there wasn't much of a defense. The defenders were off top lane doing this thing, so yeah. Again, Festival is just not playing the lane in the actual lane. He's just playing it here. Between the enemy towers. Apparently that's a safe zone. He's like, you know what? They can't actually kill me. I'm Ember. We are going to see the Hellbears work on that bottom tier 1 tower, though. Timber, fresh off killing the mid T1 tower, will lead the way in killing that bot T1 tower. That's 2 towers dead. Control still plays top lane. Master has TP'd in mid, looking to dislodge Aurora. Aurora holds the Tombstone. Master looks to kill him. Eventually, it seems like he will kill Undying, barring a huge out juke. Chakram is used. 1 hit is there. 1 more spell will finish the job. Chain is held, missed by Master. Pigpole committed. There's no way he lives here. There's no possible way he lives here. Oh my god, he actually lives there. Unreal jukes from Aurora. I don't know how he's alive. He probably should not be alive. But, as you can see on your screen as well as mine, he is indeed alive. Meanwhile, top T1 was denied by Lethal Kittens. Gale into Arrow are committed. Arrow tanked. Meanwhile, solo kill from Festival and Larry middling into the top lane. Lethal Kittens is dead as well. So 2 kills. 1 on Lich, 1 on Venno. So between the tower being denied and these 2 kills, a lot of gold going the way of the Funny Zone. They're up by 5,000 net worth. Which is actually remarkably similar to their lead lap. Oh, he didn't have spells left! He didn't have spells left on Blimpke. What can you do? But remarkably similar lead to last game. But the thing is, last game, Funny Zone had an Alchemist. In this game, they don't. Roll forward by Blimpke. A little bit short. Festival walks away with a double damager in his bottle. Looking at the win probability, it's already 69% in favor of Funny Zone, a far higher win probability than this time last game. The mid T1 tower also gets denied, so both teams technically have taken 2 towers, though Hellbears lasted their 2 and also denied 2 of their own. Over the top lane, Blimpke will attempt to roll away Arrow. Will be held for now. Leap forward into Arrow used by Baboon to bring down Blimpke. And again, they see Timbersaw. Talk about a hard kill to get the try. Anyways, good Ravage, mid-chain, into Meteor Hammer. They're trying so hard to kill the Timbersaw. Vessel committed, and they'll actually end up dying. They had to do it perfectly, and they ended up doing it in that exact perfect way. And the problem is, They are just getting more kills anyways. It's Dynamaster also dead. Double kill for enough. You got 1 kill in exchange, but again, you get 2 core kills like that. It's fantastic. Ultra Gunner is a 2v2 bottom lane. Festival TPing in. Call down is committed. Control wants to kill Ultra Gunner, but he's being kited around right now. Larry is dead. Control is dead. And, well, it seems like this game is being controlled by the Funny Zone. Ay, ay, ay. Not quite sure what to say about the game state. I mean, it's a hard game for Hellbears. That's what I'll say. It's certainly not over yet, but it is not going to be easy. So, looking at positive things for Hellbears, Timbersaw is still pretty powerful. Festival looks to go in mid lane, but Festival cannot secure the kill. He has to remnant away there. Other than that, though, both Control and Lethal Kittens are somewhat poor, which is certainly not ideal. What can you do, right? What can you do? We are seeing a lot of farming going on. There is poke coming out from both teams, but no serious committal to kills here. Just poke, just a little bit of poke going on. Ursa does have the Battle Fury, which should accelerate his farm. Meanwhile, top lane Enough is using his Meteor Hammer on that top tier 2 tower. And again, if Dire don't rotate more heroes to this top T2 area, it's gonna die. It's certainly going to get brought down eventually by Enough. Enough is certainly the strongest hero in the game right now. Meanwhile, we're seeing Aurora get gone on by Master and Larry. He did TP away in time over to Festival. He wants to go on Lethal Kittens and a long-range arrow from Jake Curto. Festival will remnant. He'll try to live. I think Baboon tried to deny, could not find Savage. Hits on 3. He'll look for Blimp K. Blimp K will silence both and roll away. And at this point, the fight is mostly over unless Baboon goes for an absolutely wacko play. And it seems like he wants to, but the angle may be difficult. Yeah, that top 2-2 tower, though, is almost certainly going to die here. Meteor Hammer is up in 4. That'll be the end of the tower's life when that happens. We are seeing TPs in, but it may just be too little too late. They'll go for Ultra Gunner. Ultra Gunner is somewhat squishy, but he's still kept alive. Double kill for Ultra Gunner. Triple kill for Ultra Gunner. The tier 2 tower is dead as well. Lethal Kittens is on the run. Slight Chains will be on points. Oh my. Well, that was probably the last great chance for Hellbears to win a team fight. They did a lot of damage, but it was a little bit too much resistance headed over to keep life going the direction of Ultra Gunner. I'm sure Aurora had that soul rip there. Ay, ay, ay. Over to bot lane, and we're going to see control get gone on. No, actually, solo kill Festival. So Festival overextends, looking to remove Ursa from this bottom area of the map. And just dies. That's a lot of gold. Very important kill there for control. Alright, so if we're looking at our good friend, the handy-dandy net worth graph, it's 12,000 for Funny Zone, but the win probability is beginning to flatline at about 85%. So there's still hope. There is still hope. Smoke up on 3. Looking for top lane picks. Dire. See Tidehunter. And they'll go in for him with 3. Roll forward is on the mark. Enough is silenced. Chain Frost is committed. It's bouncing between the two heroes. One more roll forward. Tide is half HP dropping, but it's not dropping all that fast. Sinister Gates is committed, and Rabbit will be there on 3. Into a gush, into an anchor smash. Enough is just so tanky. The damage is not enough to bring down enough. Larry to fall. Timbersaw is dropping. Vessel is on point. That'll be a dead Master. Calls down the life of Master as well. 2 more kills for the Funny Zone, and I'm running out of puns. I am rapidly running out of puns. It's not time for punny. It's time for the Funny Zone. That's all it is right now. It's real one-sided. 14,000 net worth lead. It seems highly likely they will secure the 2-0 win. Though there is still a lot more to do. First shot has not been taken. High ground has not been taken, but they are on the trajectory to do so. It's their game to lose right now. Roll forward. It's on Tide. Nine will be there on 4. Earth Spirit gets utterly eviscerated. Control looks to man fight. Earth Spirit buys back Ultra. Will use his BKB, turning on Ursa. Enough is brought down. Festival will remnant forward to bring down Larry. Larry got a Frost Blast off in time. Tombstone was brought down, but Aurora still diving for Lethal Kittens. He'll use the mech. Radiant will focus down Timbersaw. Lich also buys back. So that's 2 buybacks committed. Benno's now dead. It's a 4 for 1, I believe. With 2 buybacks being used on top of that one. Ultra still kills that middle tier 2 tower. Earth Spirit will roll away. If he dies, that will be a dieback, so naturally he'll try to get away from this one, but he also doesn't have TP. It's on cooldown, so he's just over here now, I guess, grabbing that Wisdom Rune. Yeah, and there's still tools to work with for Hellbears. We saw in that last team fight, they brought down Tide, who is not easy to kill. He indeed is a very farmed Tidehunter. We'll try it again right now. Ursa will Earthshock forward. Frost Shield committed. Roll in by Blimpcave from the left side. They will bring down the Tide. Arrow will be there on Blimpcave from Jay Curto. However, the follow-up is not quite there yet, but they are on the way. Roll away is used. Aurora will use the Tombstone. Zombies are going to be in the pylon up here. Aurora will lose his life for his Tombstone, but in comes the team. Tombstone will die, but so will Larry. And so will Control. Double kill for Ultra Gunner. Triple kill for Ultra Gunner. In 11-1-4 right now. He's out of control in the gyro. Now Blimp K will be fighting for his life. He's got the roll, but I don't think he can roll his way out of the death this time around. That's a 4 for 2 trade. On top of that, that bottom T1 tower was brought down by the hands of Big Austin, aka Ultra Gunner. And he wants one more outer tower. That bottom tier 2 is the last outer tower remaining. Perhaps we will see tower into Tormentor. Again, it seems like they're a bit indecisive. We saw some movements left, some movements right. We're seeing a bit of a split up right now. 2 headed high ground, 1 headed to farm. And it seems like mostly Baboon just having a little bit of fun, using that siege unit to its fullest before it eventually dies there to that tower. And again, if you're playing on this Pony Zone side, the gameplay is obvious. You set up some wards, you play the line here, ensure that you have control of this map. You ensure that they cannot play a significant area to farm. But for now, we'll head outside of the blockade. We'll smoke up on for everyone but Venno on the inside. Radiant Vision did not see the smoke, but looking at the Radiant Vision, they should know something's up. Look where the wave is. It's right here, and there are no heroes showing. You have to know something is up, and it seems like they do. Look where they're playing on this Funny Zone side. They're playing in the trees conservatively. Ultra are still playing this jungle farm. Perhaps if they knew where Ultra was exactly, they could have beelined it across the river to Ultra. But instead, we'll see the jump for Roshan. Of course, with that Ursa, it is a fast Roshan. Control. Perhaps we'll grab the Aegis, either him or Master, surely. And it will be Control. And again, smoke up into smoke up. They'll head through the Twin Gate, looking for that wraparound backside angle. And Funny Zone have no idea right now. They have no idea what's coming. They're playing, relatively close as 5. They know something's up. They don't know what's up right now. So you know what? We're stronger than you. We've got BKB. We can go high ground. Tombstone on the floor. Preemptively used. Like, hey, where's the Dire team? They should be there. This is their base. And here's the jump. Going for Aurora. Aurora will force staff away. Or correction, get force staff away. Control looks to run him down, sticking on the Undying. The trade will be for Timbersaw. Ravage hits. It'll be there on 3. Blimp K dead. Beefo Kitten's dead. Larry dead. That's a 4-for-1. Control is just going to have to blink away. This team is dead, and his base isn't too far behind. That certainly will be one set of barracks. The top one's already dead. But looking at Ultra Gunner, he is not the sort of man who only wants one set of barracks. He wants 2. The mid T3 once again is under attack. The Radiant know where Control is, more or less. And at this point, well, he cannot defend it alone. It's simply not going to happen. They'll defend as 5 when 5 comes. But before that happens, it seems like Funny Zone will grab that second set of barracks. Ultra goes in, begins to walk away. Control goes forward. Roll hits on Ultra. But he's forced by his team once again. Control with BKB. He's desperate. Trying to bring down Gyro. Gyro has Satanic. He's trying to heal. He's dropping. He's so low, and he's finally dead. Huge streak going to Ursa. But his team will clean things up. It'll be a 2v4. Venno's on the run. Ursa blinks away, but it's once again Ursa into 4. Arrow off the mark. Control sidesteps that one. He'll end up getting away to his fountain, but it seems like once again the Hellbears are in a very, very rough spot. They're down by 27,000 gold at minute 27. They're down 2 sets of barracks. It at long last killed the gyrocopter. And again, Control still wants to fight. He wants to go in for something. He does very little, unfortunately, as the time stands, though. Slight change keeps him in place. And now will be the time to disengage if you are the Funny Zone. There's not much more to grab without your gyrocopter. Blimp K looks to find heroes on the retreat, looking for the Ember. Roll forward. This time is off the mark. He's very far forward on the Earth Spirit. Once again, rolled away this time to the northwest. And you know what? I don't want to be here any longer. I'll use my stones. I'm out. Alright, let's see here. How do Hellbears win this game? Well, you start right now. You bash instantly on Festival. Oh, if you got one more bash, then maybe. That was a good, you need a bash there on those first 2 hits with the overpower, and he got it. It's just, he didn't get a second bash, and there wasn't enough follow-up lockdown to bring down Festival. Earth Spirit is far forward. He gets absolutely sliced up and devoured. Control is in this. He'll go in for Aurora. The bash is on point. Tombstone was used just in time, and now Control will BKB trying to the Tombstone, but he's just dying to Ultra Gunner right now. And Rage is throwing like rapid will be there on the 3. Control will get away, but his team will die. Master dead. One more triple kill for Big Austin. Why not? And well, I think we know what time it is. It's time to run it down the middle lane. Head this direction right here. You hit these buildings, or perhaps these buildings, and you end the game. What can you do? You will now see the decision. Is it tier 4s or is it megas? And Ultra Gunner, always the carry player, will go for the safer option. Ursa blinks in looking for Baboon. Baboon has the Yules, and now Ursa is a little bit deep. He's committed very far. He wants to kill something, anything, but the only thing he's killed is himself at this point. Festival secures the kill. Slight Chain hits down Blimpke. And we're seeing a respawn now from Timber, Venno, and Lich, but it's just too late. And the GG will get called. The Funny Zone will defeat WSS.Hellbears 2-0. Sometimes you just lose Dota 2. That's something that every Dota player's experienced sometimes, and yeah, sometimes you lose in lads. I'm sure for Hellbears, they've had a couple rough games so far this season, but there is still some room to play. They have some more series to play. They have 4 series left to play, and if they win, I think about 3 games in those 4 series, then they'll be in a pretty decent spot to make playoffs. So as long as they can get some wins, then they'll be in a decent spot to make playoffs. As it currently stands, though, Funny Zone are in a commanding spot for one of those 4 winners bracket slots. They're at 12-6 right now, putting them in the lead for the Salty Spittoon. They certainly are looking really good right now, and again, perhaps not the team to beat, but certainly one of the teams to beat right now in this Salty Spittoon group. I'm gonna go wrap things up though. My voice is surprisingly not holding up in the slightest right now, so yeah, that's gonna be it. As always, thank you for watching, and as always, have a great night.